Welcome everyone. I'm excited to see each and every one of you in the call today. My name is John Olukunyajayi, and I'm excited to be your uh, guardian. Let me use that word. I don't want to use instructor. Okay, we're just guiding ourselves. Each and every one of us are going to be learning together because with Salesforce, we can never stop learning. Okay, this class. Uh, Of course, it's provided by a company called Soft Code Technology, and also the Zoom that we are using to record right now is provided by one of our big uh, friend. Let me use that word in Salesforce. Called Babatunde Musako is a CTA with Salesforce, Certified Technical Architect with Salesforce. That's the top actually when it comes to Salesforce. That's the highest certification anybody can get in Salesforce. Is so magnanimous enough to give us this particular Zoom to use so that we can have a smooth ride in our training, and then we can have the recording. So maybe after this class, if you have on LinkedIn, you can just say a big thank you to Babatunde Musako for us. It will be very, very interesting for you to do that. We really appreciate it. Okay. So one thing that we are also trying to do with this, we are trying to do something different. We want to try as much as possible to not just only just come here and teach. We want to ensure that the resources, the class notes, like this particular slide I'll be teaching with will be made available to every one of us at the end of the class. So if you need to actually go back into the slide or the lecture note that we are going to be sharing together, you can come to the Google Doc that every one of us on this call have access to. This is it. So you can actually come here. You can see the class recording for the RevOps class that we have had. We had that for about 3 weeks or thereabout. Okay, every day, Monday to Friday. You can get it here for those who are new and are yet to join us. I mean, I just joining us. They will not join us for the RevOps class or training. Please you can get the playlist here. And then for the Flow Master class that we are starting right now, we are going to be putting a playlist here as well at the end of this class. So please, you can just go back there and look for it. It will always be available. You can check it out. And then for the lecture notes, okay, for the lecture notes, this already live. You can actually click on this note on this, and then you can follow along if you want to do that as well. And one thing that I would like to say is please, many on this call are yet to actually subscribe to our channel. Please, we are saying again that you should please try to subscribe to our channel. We will really, really appreciate if you can do that. That will encourage us. And then please, you can share our video, can like and comment and things like that. So having mentioned that, let us zoom in today. So today, basically, we're starting today, and then we are going to run it for as long as we can. And as because really, when it comes to flow is broad and big. Okay, we are going to be we can't run it for 2 weeks because we are just meeting for two times in a week. So we can't even run it for 3 weeks. We will need at least 10 weeks to run this for us to be able to get the most out of it. Okay, because after we have run maybe record trigger flow, so we are starting with. After we have done that, then there are so many scenarios that we can just run on record trigger flow itself. And then after we have done that, then we need to actually learn a screen flow as well. You need to learn screen flow as well. So that's why I believe that 3, 4 weeks is not enough for us to actually do this. And then I have people on this call. I have people that have registered for this particular training that are completely new to Salesforce. They don't know anything about Salesforce. So for those that have been in Salesforce for a while, okay, so we are going to be taking this slow and steady so that everybody will be able to catch up so that nobody will be left behind. So having mentioned that, let us zoom in for today. So, this class is not beginner for those who are just joining Salesforce. We are just joining Salesforce, then we need to be talking about um, things like Salesforce architecture, sort of fundamentals. Okay, talking about things like object, fields, records, and things like that. But we don't want to do that in this class because this class is for those who have been in Salesforce at least for a month. Okay. But for the purpose of those who are joining this for the first time, we will try as much as possible to not to rush it so that you can actually catch up with us even as you are learning Salesforce for the first time. So um, so this is actually introduction to Salesforce Flow and your first automation. Present. Okay, good. And then please confirm I'm still audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you so much. So the learning objective for this particular class, not just only this particular lesson, but for the whole training, the learning objective is for you to be able to explain what Salesforce Flow is and why it is necessary in the Salesforce ecosystem or as a Salesforce professional, why it is necessary, and then identify common operational bottlenecks that can be solved by flow, and then be able to differentiate between what flow is, what Apex is meant to do, okay, what is a workflow, and then what is a process builder, okay, and then you should be able to master the core or relationship between triggers, elements, and actions, which are the core tools that we use in Salesforce Flow. Okay, like I like I promised, like I mentioned, this will be practical hands-on skill. We are not talking theory here. The only thing is that we want to actually be able to introduce the concept to us so that we not just rush into hands-on. But really, basically, it is practically hands-on. Okay, you're able to construct the record trigger flow from scratch. Okay, apply entry condition, business log, decision logic, and then you're able to activate, you're able to test your flow and troubleshoot any error that you find in your flow. So the question is, what is Salesforce flow? So Scissors Flow allows administrators and developers to build complex business logic visually without writing code. And I would like to say that this is what actually brought me to Salesforce. This what made me to love Salesforce at first. And I'm telling you, I'm still loving Salesforce. Okay, it's because when I joined Salesforce and IT industry to be specific, about 5, 6 years ago, I have been an outsider that love IT industry, but because I was told or people believe, quote and unquote, that once you miss your 25th birthday and you have not learned coding, you should just forget about operating in the IT industry. And at that point in time, I was already like 37, 38. So I was like, okay, that means I've missed my mark. I can't actually operate in the IT industry anymore. Until about 5 years ago, when I stumbled on Salesforce accidentally, and I was told that you can actually operate in the IT industry without you learning code. That was what made me to love Salesforce. And I'm still, like I said, I'm still loving Salesforce up till now. Okay. So the capability of Salesforce Flow, you can actually use to create, to update, to delete, to fetch a record, to route decisions, to push notification, to call external API, and to guide screen users. Okay, through screen flow. Okay, so it actually makes you to eliminate human latency and error rate, enforces standardized business processes, and free staff to focus on high value human judgment. Okay, so flow in action, manual versus automated. So flow serves as the underlying orchestration engine, linking business event to downstream tasks. Okay, so when events occur, flow evaluate the logic. Okay, it automated the action and then it performed the action. Okay, it's so powerful. But manual process, you have to create record physically, manually, then employee will notice, employee will create the task, employee will set due date, employee will update status and things like that. Automatically says force flow can do all this in a split of a second. I am going to see that in action. So earlier I mentioned Flow and Apex and some other legacy tools or some other deprecated tools. Okay, let's first compare Flow versus Apex. Okay, so Flow, like we said, is a declarative tool. What does that mean? What it means is that you clean, you don't code, visual builder, faster time to market, okay, easier maintainability. But Apex is programmatic. Is it that Apex is bad? No, Apex is not bad in any way. It just means that you need more technical ability, technical skills for you to be able to actually write Apex. So it's a code language used when complex algorithm, uh, high volume batch processing, or non-supported actions are required. That is, you have no supporting actions in flow, but you have it. I mean, it is supported in Apex, and they are required. That's when you should actually write Apex. Okay, so golden rule is this: flow first. Please remember this, very important. Flow first, then code only when necessary. Okay, and then there are legacy tools or deprecated tools that people might still be referring to today, but they have been deprecated or they are in retired states. The first one is workflow rules. Don't worry about what it is because it's no longer needed. So there is no need for me to tell you what a workflow is. Okay, there is a process builder, is also deprecated, is in retired state. Okay, so not you don't need to know what it is. Okay, but one thing that you should know is that whatever it is that workflow can do, whatever it is that process builder can do, Salesforce Flow combines those power together and it can do even much more than both of them can do combined. Combined. So that's why it's actually so powerful. Okay, so what is the architecture of flow? And what kind of design mindset should you have? So before you touch flow builder, always try to look at the business requirements and translate it into logic first. Very important. So you should actually ask the architectural question. So one thing that Salesforce does for us is that those some of us did not actually study computer science in school. Okay, it turns us into architects, or let me rephrase that. It turns us into developing, or it makes us to develop architectural mindset. So the first thing that you should do is ask three architectural questions. One, what starts it? So what should actually happen? What should trigger it for the flow to work? Okay. Should it mean that a field should be updated, a schedule should hit, or a record should be created? Okay. So after we must have understood or established what's that, then is there a logic behind it? Should you run at the part because of a particular thing, even though it is being triggered by an event? And then what should it do? What should happen after the flow had been triggered, the automation had been triggered? Okay. Then there are right now in Salesforce, there are six basically types of Salesforce flow. Okay, but we only look at four, and even in this four, we focus on two for now for about 6 to 10 weeks that we are going to be running this. And if there is time, or if people still want to learn more, then we can actually touch on schedule triggered flow. Okay, but we are only talking about four in this list, but there are 62 more. Okay, we have record trigger flow. What happens? It runs automatically behind the scene. You won't see it, but you only see its action. Okay, then screen flow. You're able to see it, okay, and then it also perform action. Schedule trigger. What happens at a particular time or a particular date? It picks it up and then it happens. Okay, auto launch, it runs headlessly without a UI. It invokes things like APS, REST API, or parent flow. Okay. So now, like I mentioned, like I promised, this is not just talking. This is an uh, uh, action-oriented class. So I'm going to stop talking right now, and then we are going to go into action straight away. But before we go into action, any question? Any question? Andalin, am I still audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Any question? Was I too fast?
No.
Andalin? Okay. All right, great. All right. So is anybody talking? Okay, I guess not. All right, so like I said, it's action time. Let's go. So, I've mentioned, please, you must have actually signed up for a developer hub right now, and it must have brought you here. So you should, if it brought you here, or maybe when you open it up, it brought you into this place for the purpose of those who are new to Salesforce. So let us start from here. Assume that when you log into your account, it brought you to an interface like this. Don't worry. All what you need to do is going to click what we usually call a gear icon, but it is called setup. Click this particular icon and then click on setup. When you click on setup, it brings you here. This is the back end of Salesforce. This place is the front end of Salesforce. Okay, this place is the back end. We call it setup. Okay, this place is the front end. What happens? What happens is that everything that you do, every configuration is done in this place, and once it is done here, you are going to see its effect in this place. Okay. Having mentioned that now, let us move on to the back end of Salesforce, which is set up. Okay, you should see, you read like welcome, then your name instead of John. Okay. Then in this place that is written quick find, please can you please type flow and then click on flows. Click on flows. Now that we are here in flows, okay, so let me do something. Let's do this earlier. Okay. Okay. I think you can click that. All right. So click on new flow button. New flow. Okay. Then it should have brought you here new automation, right? And then are you following along?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. So click on record triggered flow. Record triggered flow. And it should bring you here. It should bring you here. All right. So let's go back to our lecture notes. Go back to our lecture notes. So our lecture notes, we are going to be having about 3 hands-on for today. And if time permits us, we can actually even have more. It doesn't have to be just those three, but I want to try and carry everybody along. Okay, so that's why I don't want to rush it today. All right, so the first hands-on says whenever a new account is created, automatically create a task for the account owner, reminding them to follow up. Whenever a new account is created, automatically create a task for the account owner, reminding them to follow up. Okay, so from this now, handling, what do you, which object do you think should actually be the tree that will trigger the flow?
The account object.
The account object. So the account object should actually trigger the flow. So let us click on object, search object, and click on account. Click on account. And if you go back to our requirement, it says when a new account is created, not when an account is updated, right? It specifically says when a new account is created. So for our configuration to trigger, we should actually pick a record is created and not a record is created or updated. Okay, because it says specifically that when a new account is created, that is when the flow should fire. Okay, so we say we go with a record is created. All right. If you
Yes.
check, if you check this place, you will see that we have optimization of the flow. We see we have what we call fast feed update and action and related records. Okay. For the purpose of learning, let's just stay with action and related records. Okay. As time goes on, when we have mastered some things in Flow, I will tell you the difference between the fast feed updates and action and related records. Okay. But for now, let us just assume that all the flows are going to be running will be action and related records, except otherwise stated uh, uh, or otherwise stated, okay? But another thing I wanted to just know between the fast feed updates and action and related record, okay? But for the purpose of those who are writing their maybe their foundation exam or platform administrator exam, okay? Just know that fast feed updates runs faster and does not consume so much resources than action and related records. That's what you need to know right now. Don't worry. As time goes on, if there is a need for us to use fast food updates, I will let you know that. Okay, so please click on action and related records. After you must have done that, okay, if you check our requirement, we don't have any condition. It says when a new account is created, automatically create task. It didn't ask or it didn't see anything about any other requirements. just ask us to create a task, and then that particular task should actually be related to the task owner, right? So click on Flow Builder. I mean, click on this. We already done that, and then click on this uh, close button. Click on it and close it. Now we have already uh, done our conditional uh, uh, trigger that will trigger our flow. Okay, so now we want to create task, right? We want to create task. So we have elements in Salesforce. We call some elements DML elements. Nathan, you have a question? Please go ahead and
I
ask the
just have
question.
is it possible you can make your screen larger because I'm working with two screen. I can see what you
Okay,
did, but when you watch it on YouTube later, I think your own picture is larger than what you're sharing. Is it, do you get what I mean?
I
Like,
get you. I get you, Nathan. Okay, let me ask others. Is any other person feeling that my screen is smaller?
No, the screen
Let's
is
have,
actually okay.
Really fine from my end.
Yes. It
okay.
might also be Nathan's how do we call it now? How whatever orientation you have chosen.
Yes, like you need to close the participant part. Possibly
Yeah,
the activities are covering up the
true.
Okay,
For me, the
participant.
participants are at the top. So
okay. Nathan, did you get that?
that's the problem. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
good. All right, you're welcome. Thank you for that. I appreciate. Okay, so we have elements, and some of the elements are red, and those elements we call DML elements. Okay, what is DML? DML is data manipulation language. Don't worry about that. We're not learning about that today. Okay, but my point that I'm just trying to make is that we are going to create on this particular element, they are get record. Let me get them for you. Get record. You can see that the color, and this is the this is the first thing I want you to actually learn today. Though we are not doing it, I want to learn it and take it to art. It's very, very important. Okay. You can see that get record. The color is what? Red, right? Let's go and get another one. Check another one. Create record. Can you see? The color is also red. And then we have what we call update record. The color is also what? Red. Please, as we are moving on, we are still going to learn this. We're not learning this today. There is an element that we call loop. Are you with me? This loop, okay? This loop, this is where it looks. Okay, we're not using loop today, okay? But I want to say this, all the three elements I have shown you earlier, and then even the late. We also have the late. We also have the late. We also have the late, okay? All these elements that I've shown you, four elements that I've shown you, okay? We have get record elements, create record elements, update record elements, and delete record elements. Don't ever, I repeat again, don't ever put them inside a loop. Okay. If you do, if your org is just small org, it will work. But once the data in your org is becoming bigger and larger, okay, you put them inside a loop, you are going to have error in your flow. So if you don't learn anything today, please take that to heart. Don't ever put them inside a loop. But we're not talking about that today. Don't worry, we're not talking about loop today. So let's just forget about that. Delete element. All right, so our requirement says that we should automatically create a task for the account holder. So what we need to do is So which element are we going to use now?
Create record.
Create record element. Thank you. Create record element. So what are we creating? How should we name it? Creating task. So let's say create task. Then in description, say create task for the new account. All right. Okay, so now it says that how to set account field value. How should we set it? Okay, from a record variable or manually set an object and configure the records value manually. So here, this is what we are picking manually. Manually. Okay, then we are picking manual. Which object are you creating? Don't forget, we are creating which record. I mean, we are creating what record on which objects. We are creating task. Yes. So pick on task. Now, in task, we now have fields in task. Let us go to our metadata. I don't want to see what we have in task. So you want to go into your, okay, I think we have this open already. Go into your object manager and then try to look for task. Okay, so because you are using metadata inside your flow. Okay, all right, so what are the metadata that we have in task? Okay, in task we have something we call subject, right? So let's go into our flow and get first subject. You can say subject. So what's the subject? The subject is, remember our requirement. Our requirement says create a task for the account owner. So remind them to follow up. So that should be our subject. We say follow up on the newly created accounts. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, and then you can say want to describe it also. Description. Let's say this will be description. That should not be our description. Say don't forget to follow up on the created. It's very important. Okay, so that's the description. And then let us assign to ID. So the question is, assign to ID. Let us go to our our metadata. So this is the assign to ID that we are having here. So the question, what does this assign to ID do? What it does is that it's talking about the owner ID. Can you see it? Owner ID. And it's looking up onto what? Onto the user. Looking up onto calendar and onto group. But in our case, we are using user because if you check our requirement, it says that a task for the account owner. Okay, the owner of the account, right? So how do we now get the account owner? dynamically without us putting the account owner's record ID, user ID. Because if I add code this account owner ID, for example, in this org, I have 2 users. If I add code this account ID, account owner ID, it will only work for that particular person that I'm add coding for. So what do? This has been solved for us with the trigger that we built earlier up here. Okay, so how do we get the account owner ID from this trigger that we built earlier? Is very simple. Just click on here and go up. You will see what we have, say triggering accounts. Click on it and then check for the owner ID. And when you are doing owner ID, you are going to see 2. You will see one that is both of them are relationship field. Okay, but one is still a lookup and one is just ordinary relationship field. So don't pick the lookup, pick the ordinary one. Am I communicating? And then
Yes, yes, yeah.
okay, good. So this is the way to get the account owner ID dynamically without coding the account owner ID itself. Okay, so click on add field again. So let us do related to ID. And let us go back to our metadata. I just don't want to actually just write everything for you and then you just go and be looking for the meaning all around. Okay, I want to actually give you the reason why we are picking those things. I'm going to look at it and we are looking at them together. So we are looking at related to now. All right, so if you look at that, if you look at this field related to ID, it is called what ID, and it's a lookup field as well, and you can get as many objects from it as possible, right? You can see it. You can get accounts. You can get contracts. You can get so many things, right? So many objects you can get from here. Okay, so but in this case, we are looking for the account because this account, right? So how do we get this also dynamically? It is already been provided. So click here, click on trading accounts, and then look for the ID. But you are going to see so many ID. But which ID are you looking for? You are looking for the account ID. Can you see it? Is the record ID. Click on it. Okay, and then let us add another field. Let's see, what should we do again? Let's do status. If you're not speaking, please, can you please mute yourself? Not speaking, please mute yourself. Let's click on status. So status is a pick list field. So let's go for it. So in the status, we have not started, in progress, completed, waiting for someone else, and the fast. Okay, so maybe we should do in progress. All right, and then lastly, if you're not speaking, please mute yourself. And then let us put a date, due dates. Let me try and mute the person that is disturbing us. Okay, I think I've muted the person. I've muted the person. Okay. So due date, we want to get the date new. So the question is, how do we get the date dynamically also? Because we have been doing dynamic, we have been getting our records dynamically, and I believe that we should get this also dynamically. How do we get this? Who wants to help us? Who knows how to get it? Anybody? Okay, nobody is ready to talk. Let us go and get it. Okay, how do we get? Because we want to make it to be today's date. Today's date. Okay, so how do we do that? So let us say we click here, then click on running flow interview. Can you see this, Andaline?
Yes.
Okay, so you are on this call before now. You didn't answer me, and you know the answer. But you don't know the answer. What time you don't know? So running flow interview, click on it, and then you can see dates. Now you can see current date time, interview start time. But click on current date. Does that make sense? Is that hard to get?
No.
And it's not hard to get. Okay, anybody having issues with getting any of this that we have done? I guess nobody. All right, so let us save it.
I have a question.
Please go ahead.
If you're doing a task, normally the task is due in like a few days. Do you
Yes.
want the person to be doing it today, or can you do current date plus 5 or something like that?
Yes. We can do that.
Okay.
But you have to
Okay.
actually create a variable for that.
Okay.
Don't
Okay.
worry. Wait. Let us do that today so that some people will not get confused. Let us do things that are a bit easier. But as time goes on, as we progress, we are going to do that. Ebenezer,
I
please go ahead.
I understand. I understand. Thank you.
Thank you, Monique.
Um,
Okay.
hello,
Ebenezer,
Sir
uh,
John. Please,
how
I'm
are you,
I'm
sir?
getting a problem here. When I click on the value, I'm not getting the value. Maybe I didn't
Okay.
start
Sir,
early or something. I don't know.
Okay.
The
sir,
From
I
which
have
one?
a question.
the field
H.
the field values for the tax, the subject. When I
Sir,
click the value for the subject, I'm not.
Okay. Let
sir,
me
I have
mute
a question.
HP. Let me try. HP, you have a question?
No,
Please just hold on. Hold on, HP. Just hold on, please. Let us try
sir,
and ask.
sir, in the field, you get the description, and then in the second field, you get the assigned to ID, trigger account, owner ID, related to ID, triggering account. Explain it a little bit that we understand it very well, because uh, till making the record trigger for wind understand it very well, but in these fields I didn't understand it well.
Okay, all right, no problem. It's fine. Your question is well noted, HP. At least that's what is in your name. I will actually explain again. Your question is like that of Ebenezer as well. So, and I will try to explain again, please. Just hold on. Thank you. Okay, so Ebenezer, HP, or any other person that is finding it difficult, please let me explain again with it's the same thing with everyone, but let me just try to explain with subjects, which is very important. Let me read the subject and let me do it again. So when you get here from your how to set record fields value, click on manually. After you must have done that, search for task as an object, create a record in of this object task. After you must have done that, then click on add field. I hope you are following along, Ebenezer. Click on add field. Then search for subject. Search for subject and click for on subject. Then after you must have clicked on subject, come to the search a field. Click on it. And then on the subject now, you can now try to write whatever you want to write there. So the subject gives you a pick list value, or you can actually write something on your own. Okay, so I can say follow up on the newly created account. follow up on the newly created account. Does that answer your question? Both HP and Ebenezer. Ebenezer, does that answer your question? Are they still on this call? Okay. Okay. I guess that's a yes. All right. Any other question before we save our flow and test it? Because our time is fast spent. We have about two other uh requirements that we want to try and do. And then am I
Yes, sir, you are.
okay? Another person raised hand.
No.
Lloyds, you raise your hand. My brother from the UK, how are you? Uh, Lloyds, your audio
Hello,
Voice.
is not okay. Yeah.
can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, I can hear
Yes.
you now, Lloyds. How are you?
Good. I'm fine, thank you. I
So
just
good to
wanted
hear
to
your
ask,
voice.
thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about the assigned to ID. I didn't really get that part
Okay.
and what the use is.
Okay, what the use is. Okay, thank you so much. Assigned to ID, very important. If you look at our requirements, our requirement is when a new account is created, that is, we have solved that part, right? You understood that part, right? And we have solved it. Lloyd, you have to
Okay, yes,
unmute
yes,
yourself.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
We have solved that part with this place, right?
Yeah.
We have solved that with this place. When a new account is created, we have solved that. Okay, go back to our requirement. It says automatically create a task. We have solved that part also by adding task object here, right? But it says something more, and that's why we are attaching the assigned to ID. It says that create a task for the account owner. Did you get that? Create
Okay,
a task
okay,
for the account owner. So what the assigned to ID is doing for us is that we are assigning that task to the owner of the account.
okay.
Should I say
I've
that again?
understood now. Yes, I have
Okay,
understood.
fantastic. I'm so excited that you understand now. Okay,
Thank you.
so you're welcome, Lloyd. So good to hear your voice. Okay, any other person that is yet to understand or have a question? No question. Good. Let us go. Click on save button, please. And you can name this account because it's account, right?
Yes.
Depending on the account, then task, because we are creating task, or let's say account creates task, okay, create task for account owner. You can name it anything from your end, okay? So, all right, so, and then you can just use the flow label for the description as well. Just add maybe automatically. Does not matter. Okay, then save your flow. Now that we have saved our flow, okay, before you activate your flow, please let us test the flow. And if you have not created an account record in your org before now, if your org is new, I want to go back here into this space now. Please, everyone, if your org is new, do this right now, please. Please do this right now. Click on new and click on, let's say, just create an account with Andalin is the one that is helping us today. Andalin, I hope I spell your name very well. Did I try?
Correct.
Okay, all right, great. Okay, then just save it. Don't need to put anything. Emmanuel or Battery, please, we are not speaking, mute yourself so that you not disrupt our class. Okay. All right, so we have created Andalin as an account, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's just that I didn't write your name very well. Let me write your name very well. Let me say Andalin Technology. I hope you like that one.
Yes, wonderful.
Okay, great. Then save it, please. Okay, so now we have created Andalin Technology. Let's now go back to our flow. Now I want to test our flow before we uh, activate our flow. It is a speeding that we test it, right? So click on debug. Click on debug, and then click on accounts, and then you see handling technologies, right? Click on it, and then click on run. Click on run. Now that we have run it, you see that it says completed. Who is having error? Anybody having error? I guess nobody. So it says completed, right? And then you can see that it's completed from the top to the bottom. That means our flow is working as expected. Okay. But that your flow, you should know this place. And I'm telling you, if you don't know it, that your flow run very well in debug. Does not mean that when you get into the product, into the production, into your org itself, and want to try it out, that it's going to work. Yes, I've seen cases like that, but don't worry about that. For our org is small. We are going to actually have that work, I believe. Okay, so let's click on activate button. And now our flow has been activated. Our flow has been activated. Now that it has been activated, let us now go back to our UI. Let's go to our UI. Now, let us now click on Account tab. Then from there, click on New. And then now, who has spoken today again? Anne has spoken. Let's use Anne Tech Group. Anne, you love that name? Anne Tech Group. Is Anne still on this call? Okay, now, let's save it. Let's save it. So when we save it now, our flow should run and should create a task just like we have done it, where we have asked it to do in our flow. Let's save it. Now that we have saved it, if you look at this account now and tech
Yeah.
group, you can see that it has created a task for us here. And if you want to check it again, okay, I think this is enough. Right, so click on this task. And just like we instructed our flow, that's the way it's working as expected, right?
Yes.
We instructed our flow that the description should be, don't forget to follow up on newly created account. If you go to the task now, it says, don't forget to blah, blah, blah. And then the first says, follow up on a newly created account. And then we have the same here, follow up on a new created account. And then if you see that, we say that Lloyd, and this is for you, this is the question that you asked. Okay, you said related to, no, they are assigned to ID. They are assigned to ID, right? It should be related to the owner ID of the account. Now let us go back there. Lloyd, are you still here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right. So you can see assigned to ID, the owner of the account is John Ajayi, right? And that is is related to that particular ID. And then related to also, you know that we actually use related to ID, that particular account. Okay, and it's related to the account, which is what? Which is tech. IECs, and tech group. Any question based on that? Any question? We have a second, we have three hands-on anyway, but we have a second hands-on, which I want us to quickly do. And then you're going to use the third, you're going to use the third requirement as assignment. We're going to meet on Thursday. You will tell me if you're able to do it and if you have any question based on it. So let us quickly do the second requirement, and it's very simple. That's what I want. I know that our time is fast spent, but it's very, very simple. That's why I want us to do it. Let's quickly do it right now. Okay. So see, this is the flow that we just built right now, right? Because the second requirement is saying almost the same thing, but just in a different way. It says that whenever a new account is created, create a follow-up task, okay, assigned to that particular owner, but only if the account type is what? Customer. Only if the account type is customer. That is when you should do that, right? So let us do this. Now we have this particular flow. We could have built that particular second requirement, this particular second requirement from the very beginning. But because we have this flow already, there's no reason for us to do that. What do we do? And Danny, can you tell me what we can do?
Apologies, I was not following just now. Can someone else help out, please?
You would
Anybody?
put criteria in the first element.
Okay, I will put criteria in the first element. That's a fantastic one. Okay, so want me to update this, right? Is that what Monique is saying?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so we can do that, which is very valid. Your answer is valid. Thank you so much. Or you can actually, before you put criteria, so that you will not actually override this particular flow, what I will suggest I should do is this. Instead of you putting criteria on this one immediately, do this. Click on this button and click on Save as New Flow. Does that make sense, Monique?
Yes.
Save as New Flow first. And now, just label your flow, and then you can now say, since we are saying that it should be only if account type is customer. So you can just add to it, say, account type equals customer. Okay. Does that make sense now? Account type equals customer. Okay. Then create task for account owner. Then save it. Now that we have saved this now, then we can now go with the the suggestion of Monique that says that we should put a condition here. So you can put a condition here, or you can do a decision outside. But because we have not talked about decision, let us go into decision. Let us just put a condition, entry condition here. So click on none and click on all conditions are met, and click on, search for type, account type. Okay, account type equals customer. But we have two customer here. Let us use customer direct. Okay, use customer direct and save it. Now that we have saved this now, before we activate, okay, there's no reason for us to check anymore because of time. Let us activate. It will work. Let us activate. And let us go back in here and go to accounts and go to new. And now let us do Monique. Monique has spoken today as well. Monique, money technology. Does that make sense, Monique?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so let us do money technologies and then let us save it. Oh, no, don't save it first. Don't save it yet. Don't save it yet, please. Don't save it yet. We said that account type should be
Customer
customer direct, right?
direct.
Customer
Yes.
direct. Okay, customer direct. Because we have said that account should be customer direct, then when we save it now, it will actually work. And then we are going to create just like we have said earlier, create it, okay? But you see something that it created two, it's not supposed to create two. Can someone tell me why it created two tasks?
Mine
Please.
created only one.
Just created only
The
one.
first, if
Okay.
No, it created two.
Yes. And someone tell me
the,
why it created two.
the first flow is still active.
Yes, fantastic. Because
Oh.
it meets that particular first flow requirement as well. So that's why it created that. Okay. It created two tasks. Okay. So click on it, and then we should have it just like we said. The due date is today's date and things like that. Okay, so you have access to the lecture notes, and on the lecture notes, if you go downward, you are going to see this that says business requirement 3. Whenever a new opportunity is created, automatically create a task for the opportunity owner. We don't need to cram it right now. When you have access to it, you have the link with you. You don't have any challenge about that. Okay. So please go into this lecture notes. Okay. Everybody can access it. Or is there anybody that cannot access this lecture notes? Nobody. Please go into this lecture notes. Look for slide 11, hands on 3, and then please do this. I wanted it to be a class activity already, but our time is fast when we can't do that anymore. Lecture note 3, handling, and can you please help us put it on the WhatsApp chat for us, WhatsApp group for us, that the slide for the class is lecture note 3. Sorry, is slide 11.
Okay.
Please help us put it on the chart so that everybody can be aware. So when we meet on Thursday, which is today's time, we are going to actually be looking at this. And we are going to be asking this question: who has done it, who has not done it, and things like that. Okay, so let me stop sharing. Any question?
I had a question. I'm not sure
Please,
if
Monique.
my org is old or not, but when I did my debug, it rolled it back.
Okay.
I know that's normal on a auto record triggered, but I didn't know if I didn't see it on your screen, so I just want to make sure.
Okay, so let me share my screen again. Let me debug, and then let us see if mine will be rolled back as well. Rolled back? You mean rolled back as in it did not?
Yeah, it went through fine, but it just removed the records because you were testing if that makes any sense.
Okay, let me try and look at what you are doing. If we are talking about the rollback I'm getting, but let me just be sure of what you are talking about. If I say run now, it run like this, right?
Yeah, it created the record. So mine just rolled it back.
Okay, so now note this. A record will not be created with this. No record is created. This actually just done how can I put right now? This actually just done for you to just take a look at it and see if it's working or not. Does that make sense? You're just testing it.
Yeah, no, it worked. It's just oh, there it is right there, the rollback on the bottom. That's where I didn't see.
This,
Yeah.
right? Is
Yeah,
that what you're saying?
yeah.
And that was why I actually, okay, that's why I wanted to run it for you so I can actually I think I understood your question, but I wanted to be sure. Okay. Now, and that's what I
Yeah.
was talking about. Okay. Now look at it this way. Let me do it again. When it comes to record trigger flow, when you are debugging, okay, it will not create a record. Are you with me? Can you see that you can't actually change it?
Yeah, I just want to make sure. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the way a record trigger flow is set up. Okay, it is in screen flow. Are you with me? That you have the leeway of changing this and say, okay, you know what? I want this particular debug to actually create an actual record. So it's working as expected. Your org is working as expected.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Monique. All right. Any other question, please? Okay. Okay, of course, Mana, don't worry. We are actually going into deeper flow. We are just starting today, and I want to carry as many people along as possible. So thank you so much for the feedback. Okay, so since there is no other question today, so please, I will just employ you to after today's class, let me just stop recording. There is no point to record this